Yeah, coming to you live and direct. It's the one and only P King Diablo, aka High Watt the Pimpin' Boy. Yeah, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Yeah, we gonna talk about the god Moloch, the god of children sacrifice today. And I know some of you are saying, why are we talking about the god Moloch, the god of children sacrifice? Well, let's look at it. Children are being sacrificed on a daily basis all around the world. What I mean by sacrifice, all different types of means of sacrifice that our children go through every day all around the world. In fact, the present state of this world is a direct result of what's going on to children all around the world. And it is said that certain cults and certain celebrity cults, certain secret society worship the god Moloch. And you can look at the situation with Jeffrey Epstein as like, a prime example of that, because the island that he had, the island, the getaway where most of the rich and powerful and elite went, to have relations with children. You can look at that situation, and you can see that this world is overran by individuals who take advantage of children, and that has to stop. We have to be vocal about these atrocities, the issues that the matter that's at hand, because if we not vocal about it, then we don't raise outrage about it. We have to raise we have to speak about these things in order to create outrage. Outrage creates change. I know when we talk about children, that's a sensitive issue, but someone has to do it. We have to talk about these issues, because if we don't create outrage, and if we don't create outrage, we don't create change. And I'm one for change. I'm one for change. That's what a revolutionary is. One that's not agreeing with the present system that's at hand. One for change. I'm really for change. And we speak about, the sacrificing of children. When you think about it on so many levels, I look at it, deadbeat dads who are not in their children's lives. You're sacrificing your children. You have them out here in this cold world by themselves. That's a form of sacrificing your children. You just leave them to the streets. You just leave that situation to chance. You're not going to be in your child's life. You're just going to leave his or her survival for chance. That's a form of sacrifice. I look at the abortion clinics. That's a form of sacrifice. I was just reading an article today where they were saying that they're going to make abortion pills more readily available for women. They was going to lift the ban of certain restrictions on, getting access to abortion pills. I look at that as a form of sacrifice. And who are they targeting when they saying abortion pills, when all of the abortion clinics are in the so-called black neighborhoods, the American Negro neighborhoods? So let's look at the statistics. When you get a chance to do your individual research, look at the statistics and see how many so-called African American or so-called black children are aborted every year. Look what is being done to the communities all around the world. Children sacrifices at an all-time high. Look at children that are being abducted. You look at what's going on around the world. You look at the missing children files. Children are being abducted every day. That's a form of children sacrifice. You look at the children that are being taken advantage of in these foster care homes by these foster parents, by these child agencies, by these DCFSs, and you name them. They're placing children amongst pedophiles. Look at what is going on. And we are all to blame. When you think about it, you sold crack to black women, you sold heroin to black women, you were part of the problem. Because once that woman got strung out on crack, or strung out on heroin, she either sold her child or she couldn't take care of that child, so that child went into family services. So we are all to blame. And if you are to blame, then you must do something about it. We can't just sit by and let the world be as it be. If there's a God, I know God have a soft spot for children. Why do we sit by and let the world just crush and destroy children? Children are really the future, man. And we sit back and let atrocities and children be harmed in all sorts of manners, then what are we doing to this world? What are we doing to the future? If children are the future, why are we sitting back and just letting this happen? Why do we sit back and let children be harmed by family members, by sick-minded family members? And then we sweep it under the rug for fear of being embarrassed about this situation. Why do we sit back and allow these things to happen? Why do we sit back, as far as women are concerned? Why do women allow, men that are not the fathers, or men that are the fathers, either or? Why do women sit back and let men, physically or mentally harm their children for fear of losing these men? A lot of women lose their critical thinking when they get involved with a man. And for fear of losing this man, they allow women to take they allow men to take advantage of their children. So just as I spoke about the deadbeat dads, you have deadbeat mothers out here as well. You have women out here that are sacrificing their children's self-esteem, sacrificing their self-worth by talking to them any kind of way. By choosing one child over the other. There are all forms of you sacrificing your child. They're all forms of sacrifice. We have to correct this issue with children. What's going on in the world? You have a bunch of grown individuals that are suffering from what went on with them as children. Hurt people hurt people. We have to correct that if we want to change the world. In the so-called black families all around the United States and all around the world, they are most at risk because their children are the most vulnerable. Because protecting a child requires money and resources. Protecting a child requires political power. And politically, if you're at the bottom of the totem pole, guess what? Look around you. Look what is going on in certain countries all around the world. Look what is going on in Haiti. Look what is going on in different countries in Africa. Look what is going on in different communities around the United States, around, the states. So-called black children are very vulnerable. You're sacrificing your child when you send your child out to school and that child is not old enough to fend for his or herself. We have to stop sacrificing our children. We have to stop allowing the system to sacrifice our children. We have to let the children know you are the future and the world is yours. We have to stop raising our children to be weak. We have to raise strong-minded, upright, independent, and fearless individuals. Our survival is at hand. We can no longer sit back and let the world destroy our children. We can no longer sit back and sacrifice our children to sick-minded individuals, to a sick minded society to a sick minded system. We have to stand on principle. We have to stand on morals and values. It's been real. Once again, it's the one and only P. King Diablo, aka Howard the Pimpin' Boy. Yeah, it's pimp the system and no longer allowed to pimp us. I'm out.